Welcome to WagerTalk TV. I am Kelly Stewart, joined by Preston Johnson and VR Ace. You have too many nicknames. You're always Vegas. Bias. You're always Vegas runner to me. I don't care what anybody says. All right, we're going to talk some SEC football. Mississippi State catching 6.5 at LSU. LSU, big play for me last week. Great win, dominant win over Georgia. Now just a little less than a touchdown. Total 44.5. All right, who wants to go first? Is this a letdown spot for LSU?
You can take it.
Age before beauty, right? I'll go
there you
first.
Go. There you go.
Oh, no.
The old man. Bottom line, coming into the season, I thought LSU was that one college team that was really undervalued. AP poll, I thought they were way off. Right now, I think they're at the overvalued state. Having them the 5th best team in the country, I don't think so. I have them around 9th. And believe it or not, I have Mississippi State 13th. Not 22nd in the 20. I think Mississippi State's a much better team than the AP poll reflects. And because of that, you're paying too much here to lay 6.5 with LSU. I made my line 4.5, not a huge difference, but I think come Saturday you'll be able to get 7 on Mississippi State. I think LSU's going to get a ton of money, a ton of teasers just to win that game at home on Saturday night game, in Baton Rouge. They'll get a ton of support at the window, I believe, from the betting market. With that said, Mississippi State's always played this team tough. Besides the fact they beat them last year, in the 2 years prior, even when they lost to them, they lost by a combined 5 points in 2015, 2016 combined. You look at a Mississippi State team defensively, they've held teams to 118 yards less than this team's season average. So whatever you're averaging, when you played Mississippi State, you'd average 118 yards less. This is a very good defensive team, and you're going to give me almost a touchdown with a defensive team like that. I got to jump on it, especially in a game where you're not going to see it's who's going to run the football better. Bottom line, both these teams only throw the ball around 25, 28 times a game. They rush for 40, 45 times a game. It's going to be who has success rushing the football. I think both defenses will show up. It's not going to be easy to get points on the board. Give me 6.5, I'm all over it.
Yeah, Preston, I kind of agree with VR there. With this overvalued now with LSU, I took the bait with them laying 2 on the trap game there at Florida and not very happy with the result. So I came back on them again last week because this is a different team catching points versus
yeah, exactly.
Points.
Well said. Well said.
I actually think they've been overvalued now for 3 weeks in a row. So we were opposite. I was on Florida, plus I'd bet the 3.5 and 3 earlier in the week. And then I bet -7 because I thought it should have been 10.8, I think was my number. With Georgia, which they absolutely destroyed. I mean, they have to give them a ton of credit for that. It reminded me of that Auburn-Georgia game last year where Georgia just, once they went down, never really had a shot to come back, and it just looked even more embarrassing. And then they got their revenge in the SEC title game against Auburn. So I think Georgia will be okay ultimately, but where's LSU at? I think this is another number. It's still high. I still think LSU is overvalued. You have a Mississippi State team. The 118 yards less is a great stat, and now they're coming off of a bye week where they've had 2 weeks to prepare for the LSU offense.
That's huge, especially a big win against Auburn. You're kind of celebrating it, but now you have that extra week.
You have an extra week to refocus some. My number flat is 5.5. Raw, the bye week's worth on the road a little over a point, so I think it should be closer to 4, 4.5. If it got to 7, I wouldn't bet it until 7. That's my buy. That's my buy point. So if it hits 7, I think Mississippi State's the side.
All right. If it hits 7, I guess we're all rushing to the window to bet Mississippi State each and every Monday. Get daily pick packages for just $9. This includes any 5% best bets, normally priced at $30.